Hey there! Hello there, guys. March 23rd, 2012. And let's see. I'm going to get right down to business. If you looked at the title of this video, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. And I just got home from seeing The Hunger Games. Very highly anticipated movie based on the first book in a trilogy done by Suzanne Collins. And wow, it's amazing. It's absolutely outstanding. They did an incredible job, and I'm not kidding. I'm not overselling. The hype for this movie has been really huge. I'm just so excited. So really good. Now here's the thing. Now not everything that's in the book is in the movie. There are some slight changes, with very, very slight, as I said. This is where you run into a problem when you have a book and you're trying to adapt it to a movie. You can't possibly include everything, because the movie would be like 6 hours long, or it'd be 2 movies or something. I don't know. You can't do it. Some things have to be cut out. But whatever they cut out, anything they cut out was just sort of filler, and in some cases things are mentioned that you find out about in other scenes. It's stuff that's not completely necessary. It's not really necessary. It's so they did a great job of figuring out what to keep in, what to keep out. Everything that's in there is all the good stuff. They hit every exciting, like, adventure point, action-oriented point, drama. They hit every big moment in the book you saw up on that screen. They did an amazing, like I said, boom, boom, boom. They hit all, even reading the book. Now, I'm not a Hunger Games expert. I've only read the book once. I've only read the first book. I do plan on starting the second book very soon, now that I've seen the movie. It's like you knew certain things were going to happen, but it's still emotional, and that's the key. It's like if you have great characters, it's a great story, and they just did it. Like, I don't want to say perfection, but perfection. There's nothing perfect in this world, but if this isn't perfect, I don't know what is. It's just such a good job. So many big moments, and I don't want to be a spoiler. Obviously, if you've read the book, you're not going to be too surprised with what happens. But they hit, they hit all the big emotional scenes, all the big moments that sort of build up in the book. They're there. The whole, to me, which is every time I see it, when I saw it in the trailers, I'm gonna say is a little bit of a spoiler alert if you haven't read the book. But basically, it's about this, this what's left of our country, and it's like a lot of it deals with, like, the government kind of like holding us down and trying to stay in control, trying to keep things from crumbling, and they invent these Hunger Games that people are chosen to compete in, if you want. And the main character in the book and in the movie is the character Katniss Everdeen. Now, the moment I was talking about her sister, her name is chosen to compete in this, and there's this moment they're sort of like pulling her away, and she runs and is like, I volunteer as tribute. And it builds and builds towards that moment, and they hit that you get all choked up. You feel it inside. That moment comes up, and it's just so well done. The cast is great, from Liam Hemsworth and Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson, the three main leads. They do a great job. I thought Lenny Kravitz was great. Woody Harrelson is, I think, phenomenal. The little girl who plays Primrose Everdeen does a great job. You feel for her. She's the character's only 12. I don't know if the actress is maybe a little older, but the character, for such a young girl to be going through what she's portrayed to be going through in this movie and in the book, it's so powerful and moving and exciting. It's just, and I know I'm gushing on this, but I can't help it. They just did such a great job. And now here's another thing. This movie is going to do phenomenal business. It's projecting. I think it cost a little under $100 million to make. That's what I read, and they're projecting maybe 130, 140 million for the weekend, which is crazy. It's crazy. And it's not in 3D, so there's none of that. So, because with 3D, you get it kind of ups the ante of the ticket sales because 3D is more expensive. But it's just regular, ticket prices. So the movie's not in 3D, so you don't have it. It's just pure, whatever the tickets cost in your area, country, what have you. But everyone does a phenomenal job. And I went to it as an earlier show, it was a 4 o'clock show. I like to go to earlier shows a lot if I can, because usually there's less of a crowd. I don't have a problem with shows being sold out. I can get home earlier before it gets too dark, which some people think that's weird. I don't know. That's just me. That's my personal preference. But I go and the place is packed, and there was a sign in the box office saying that the 7 o'clock show was sold out, so I couldn't have gone to a later show. Actually, there was another theater in my area that had the movie, so plenty of opportunities to see it. But anyway, so I got into the 4 o'clock show, and it's packed. It's packed, and we get out, and everyone's clapping, and throughout the movie, and cheering at the right moments, and reacting to the right moments, and we come out, and the line for the 7 o'clock show is there, and it's like huge, and it's almost out the door. It's like you couldn't see the door from where the theater was. You couldn't see the door. It was like huge crowd, and this is a small theater. The theater I go to a lot. It's not a huge theater. It's not, in a big city. It's not like being in New York, LA, something. It's it's a small theater compared to some others. It's not like, but it's packed, and they did it all. It's probably kind of cool the way the theater had things set up. They had posters all over the place, and when you go in, when you give your ticket to the guy, the usher, rips your ticket. There's 2 theaters. There's one theater to your left and one to your right. Those had other movies, and then there's a hallway in this theater, in this movie house, and you go down this hallway, and again there's 2 more theaters. So one to your left, one to your right, and they had this big sign they put above the hallway. It said Hall of Tributes. That's what they're called, the people that compete, in these Hunger Games. They're called tributes, and they had photos. It was really cool. They had photos of the cast of all 24, 12 on either side. As you went down, you could look at the pictures, and that was really cool. And again, they had all the various movie posters, things of like the sort of the Mockingjay. I'll show you this. You have this here, the Mockingjay, which kind of plays a part. This little pin plays a part. They had things like that hanging from the ceiling, stuff like that. So it was really cool. And a big crowd. Everyone was excited. It was really great. Like I said, this theater usually has like little freebies. They have a table with like little mini posters and little pamphlets and whatnot. And this is basically just a bookmark. And there's the hopefully you can read this as may the odds be ever in your favor. That's sort of a theme that runs throughout this. It's said many times in the movie, and that is sort of your main logo, the Mockingjay pin. And it's patterned after, there's a bird called the Mockingjay that's in this world, and that plays a little part in the movie itself. Also, now I have this shirt that I bought a while back on eBay. They had this shirt, which basically the same. It's a little better quality than the shirt I have. It's more of an official shirt. Again, there's the logo and Hunger Games. Hopefully you're seeing that okay. And on the back, it simply, again, has, I'll show you this. It has, see, the may the odds be ever in your favor. So there's that. And that was a pretty nice shirt. It's only $15. So I wanted another shirt, and I grabbed a bunch of these. So yeah, that's my sort of little review. Hope I didn't spoil anything for you. If you want, a little while back I did a vlog talking about how I'd become a fan of these books, and I'll put a link to that video below if you'd like to watch that. That gives a little bit more detail of what the movie is about if you want to watch that. But again, there might be a little more spoilers in that. I tried to do my best to keep the spoilers out of this video. So if I spoiled anything, I'm sorry. But one other thing I wanted to mention: if you hadn't seen the books, if you haven't seen the books, haven't read the book, and you don't know what's going to happen, obviously you're going to get more out of it if you've read the book. I think they did a pretty good job of explaining things. It's not overly difficult to understand, of explaining things that are happening and why they're happening. If you hadn't read the book, so you'll go in, like any other movie. You go, and the more you watch it, the more you're gonna understand, and you'll learn about what's going on as you go on. But you're not gonna be lost if you hadn't read the book. There's gonna be some things are gonna be a surprise to you. In fact, so maybe it's maybe it's better if you hadn't read the book. For those who had, you know what's coming up, but you're reacting anyway. So either way, I think you're really going to enjoy this movie. I would definitely recommend it. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge work. Tons of money, that's for darn sure. The three main actors, they're gonna be megastars now. They're gonna just blow up. Of course, they already have a script ready for the second book, or they're working on the script for the second book, which I'm sure will be just as exciting. I'm interested in reading it, the second book now. I really got to start reading it now. I want to see what else is going to happen to these characters. So yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you if you watched this whole video. I thank you. I know it was a long video. I'm hitting 14 minutes now. But I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'll let you go. And yeah, I'll simply going to say little gimmick infringement. I will see you tomorrow. And again, may the odds be ever in your favor.